Hello and welcome back to the Zouk line. My name is Adam, and today we have a very special and a kind of a somewhat rushed because due to the urgency video that I'm posting today. So there has been one of our community members named Tim who has been posting somewhat sporadic and somewhat ominous, what might be considered threats on social media, and I've talked to a number of friends, did a bit of research, and it became clear that I just needed to talk to him directly to hear what he has to say. So today, I reached out to him, and today he got back to me, and for about 2 hours, we did a full interview discussing all the things that I have heard about him and how he feels, and there is a lot to watch and a lot to take in and think about. And yeah, please join the discussion in Zouk Anon, the Facebook group that I have set up. And just in the interest of not coming off as biased or pro or con or anything, I'm going to have this interview in its entirety. I haven't received anything else from Tim. He'd mentioned in the video that he might send me some videos, but I'm filming this right after we shot it. If I do get anything, then I will post that as well. Please enjoy this incredibly fascinating interview.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I am well. Give me a second to try to just get set up here.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
And is it Adam or Atom? How do you say your name?
It's Adam. Well, in real life, it's just ADAM. On Facebook, it's ATOM. Yeah, it's just
Cool.
it makes it a little easier. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. This is Carla. Carla, Adam.
Hi, Carla. Nice to meet you. So cool. Where are you guys off to?
Well, I won't say fully, but I will say that Carla and I are going on a little road trip, which we're excited about. So we're gonna go see my parents, which would be the first time for her meeting them, which is really exciting.
Oh, that's huge.
And
Yeah.
maybe seeing some of my old students and friends.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen you in the scene, just because I've been a Zouk dancer for many years, but it's been a while. But I don't know that we've ever actually formally met.
I was gonna ask. I wanted to know if we had met before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just with other leads in the Zouk scene, it's like sometimes it's just like you don't have a whole lot of interaction. So, but yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, we can just jump right to it because yeah, I have a bunch of stuff I just want to just touch base with you and just get your perspective on and all that because yeah, I've seen you pop up in like my very social media feeds and I feel like I'm getting just a little snippet of a much broader picture. And I just wanted to touch base with you and
well, I want to say thank you. It was actually really nice for me to receive your message because many reasons. One of them is I have felt very misunderstood, I guess, to say the least, over the last probably year in the Zouk scene in particular. And one thing that's been really interesting is just where the talking happens, because we know the talking happens. It's just interesting how it hasn't been to me.
Right.
I just hear about it like second or third or fourth or fifth hand about these people were talking about you in this way. And I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? Oh, interesting. And then my other friend calls me up. Hey, I got a bunch of people messaging me about you, checking in. And I'm like, what do you mean? I haven't even received any of those messages. So even to get your message, I felt like, this is someone that values conversation. And that's something that I appreciate. So Adam, thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, can we jump into the first thing that you just posted? Is it yesterday? Which yeah. So like here, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Let me see.
This is a warning to Christian Rodriguez, head of Interfusion Festival happening this coming weekend in the beautiful District of Columbia. And warning is, tomorrow I'm officially picking you as my diss target. Why? You know why. The answer is in the emails. Hopefully I won't need to release them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask him. And you're gonna think, why are you being so savage to Christian coming up tomorrow? But the better question is, what did Christian do to deserve it? And you're welcome to ask him, or you can just stay tuned and maybe you'll find out. Take care, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, I don't know if you, I try, I don't think you can hear it, but it's just the one. This is the warning to Christian at Interfusion. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is that? What is that about?
Well, okay, let's see where I want to start this. I think what I want to do, Adam, is just give you facts,
Yeah.
like facts that you could research that Christian would be like, that's true. And I would be like, that's true. And everyone else on the, let's say, Interfusion team would be like, that's true.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe you can ask about, so I'll kind of draw the black and white outline. And for me, I wanted to make it as black as white as possible. Like this happened, this happened, this happened.
Okay.
Undisputed facts. And then, of course, everything is up to interpretation and viewing, and then you can maybe, as someone from a different perspective, can ask for any color that you want drawn in. And I want to be as transparent as possible because I really feel like I don't have anything to hide. I just want to make sure that it's told in a way that makes sense from different audience perspectives, especially if people don't know what Zouk is. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
I understand too if some of this is just personal stuff in between you and Christian, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
just but feel free to share whatever
sure.
you know
And
context
I'll
you want to
say
give.
this, I'm not gonna mention someone by name and tag them in
Right.
something like a Insta story or a Facebook post without me having, I'll say, gone past the level of feeling like, oh, it's just a personal thing between me and so and so. Getting the right. Yeah, it's gonna be after this light of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So like from and I'm yes, I do not feel that I'm the type of person to quickly use names.
Yeah,
So for me, it's sad that I'm at this point of tagging someone in a
yeah.
right. Like, come on, are we really at this point? And yet, I also feel like this is going to be the best way to do it in a
Hmm.
peaceful way. As I've thought about it for a while, like, what's the best way to go about this? And it's just like, oh, just be public. Just be
Yeah.
public about it, and then people can kind of be like, okay, you know.
Yeah. What's the thing? Yeah. Like
Well, let me ask you this: have you been to Interfusion?
I have. I've been to two other interfusions. Yeah.
Amazing. So wait, are you going? Because I think Interfusion's happening this weekend up in DC, right?
Yep. Yep. And
That's
I'll
so
be
cool.
there as well. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you're going to be at your third Interfusion.
That's right. Yes.
All right. What's your favorite part of Interfusion? Like, I'm just curious because I think it's like an awesome event overall, and I want to kind of give it a shout out at the same time. Funny enough.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't have a favorite of it because there's so much that's going on that each year I find something new. So I don't have yeah, a
I
favorite.
said,
But how about for you?
good question. One thing, well, I'll tell you about the time that I met Christian. I was
Okay.
at, I believe, a bachata event because that was my dance of choice before Zouk, or maybe it was a Zouk event. I'm not sure. And Christian approached me and said, "Hey, I heard that you're a black belt and a martial artist. Is that right?" And I said, "Yes. In fact, for 15 years, that was my career. I ran schools. I had the opportunity to run, really to turn a school into one of the top schools in the nation. Ran it in Charlottesville, Virginia. It broke records across the organization that are still held to this day. And then since I've left that school, and unfortunately, it's kind of declined. But for me, the ability to teach at a high level is something that I've been really proud of. And then I moved on from that school, and then the organization that I ran, we were able to kind of recover from COVID, which was really hard on family-run martial arts schools. So this has been something that's been a part of my blood since I was very young. And so this man approaching me felt very nice, like, fellow dancer. I've seen him around. I know that he's done some martial arts, so like mutual respect. And then he also sees me, let's say on Facebook, kicking literally straight up in the air
Of course.
because I'm a world champion fourth degree black belt. And he's like, I want this guy to teach an Interfusion because one thing I've appreciated about Interfusion is they don't just go with the normal instructors of the day. Like
Right.
even with Zouk, if you've noticed over the years, it's not Paulo and Luisa and da da da. No, it's like, wait, Brenda. Oh wait, Evelyn. Oh wait, Kuna. Like,
Yeah.
and I've always appreciated that because for me, Zouk is not about dancing around in a square, but really connecting with yourself and the person and the music and getting into a better place with it. And of course, that's what Interfusion's about, the fusion of so many art forms. So here's kind of the black and white of it, I guess, would be I said yes. I taught the first year. I was asked to come back. I taught a second year. I was asked to come back I taught a third year. And then this would be like year 4. Okay, so we'll just start there.
Okay.
So I taught consent classes. Like I was really proud. I came up with a curriculum on dance floor defense. Like, you know,
Okay.
on the dance floor, no one's like attacking you, but they
Of course.
cross boundaries, and you have to learn, like, especially as a female, like, whoa, where's that line between this is not okay and this is part of the dance?
Yeah.
So I remember even being really proud of this curriculum about, hey, the first thing is simply even non-verbally adjusting ourselves so that we have a more comfortable dance. Maybe it's something even just like pressure. You know, it's not even like a physical line as much as just an uncomfortable line. We'll try to fix it on your own.
Yeah.
And then second step, it's very simple. If you can't fix it on your own, you must say something. Because unfortunately, they're in their head, maybe they're in la la land, or maybe they're so attracted to you, they kind of are forgetting their, like, who they are. Regardless, saying something nicely, hey, would you mind doing XYZ? Or hey, would you not do XYZ? And then from there, if that's not respected, it's really up to you. You could choose to give another verbal warning, like, hey, I mentioned before, I'm not playing, like, please don't touch below my belt. Or I don't know, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Boundaries.
And then of course we get to choose at what level we go to. But then even from there, we must remove ourselves from that situation. Or if need be, even use physical, and a very simple, it's like an open hand to the face, right? We talked about this the other day. Very simple, just push away, like, hey, don't, like, leave me alone.
Right.
And just go tell someone, because let's say there's so many levels of consent. That's a tough thing if it's a predator, but normally it's not. But if it is, we have to, like, look out for the scene and make sure that everyone is okay. But at the micro levels, it's simply about learning and verbally addressing it, like, hey, that's a little uncomfortable, would you mind doing this? Is one of the best ways for a follow to be able to learn how to communicate their desires, and a lead to be able to learn what's desired. Because, you know, Zouk is not like normal dances. It's very difficult, especially when you get into head movement. You're trying to support the girl, but you're trying not to crush her, like, spine, but you're trying to, like, open up the chest, whatever that means, and you're trying to, like, where do I hold? And it's like, we're not trying to hurt or, like, cross the lines. Especially as a lead, you're constantly in a creative flow, constantly trying to come up with new things. So then you got to gas it hard. Hold on 1 second. You got it. Yep, keep going. Nice, baby. Go into the right lane. All the way right. Well done. Commitment is key.
No, totally.
For me, that first the first Interfusion, I was able to teach this dance floor defense class, which was all original curriculum for me, which I was really proud of and got amazing reviews from. And then I taught like a street defense class. Like, you're walking to your car, someone goes for your purse. This is not like, hey, you're holding my shoulder a little too tight. This is like, you asshole, you picked the wrong chick or the wrong dude. Like, I'm not okay being a victim, because that's really part of the mentality is, and this is hard, and this is where Interfusion for me has gone too far now, is this conversation of acceptance can only, and love and happiness and, like, acceptance can only go so far until you get to egregiousness. If someone comes up to Carla and is going to do anything to her, it's not a question for me of, like, well, I need to accept their behavior or I need to touch base with them. It's like, no, you don't touch my girl. And there's just a line there that I understand and the world understands. So when it comes to the street defense class, it was amazing. I brought in pads. We were learning elbows, knees, hard strikes, guys, girls, sweating, and everyone left feeling like a badass. Like, this is some good stuff, because it wasn't just talk, it was tactile, which is my favorite way to learn. So then here's the black and white of it. My classes, I know in particular, one of them was one of the top rated classes of the entire event.
Okay.
And which is pretty cool, because I had overall a small group compared to the large, let's say, Zouk classes. Everyone wants to be in Brendan Anderson's class. They have 150 people. My class had 35, you know? But the amount of positive reviews that I had was probably, by even comparison of, like, number of people, probably number one. So they definitely invited me back for the second year. Second year, I decided not to do, they asked me to do, like, a jiu-jitsu class. I also have done jiu-jitsu, so I taught a jiu-jitsu class. I taught a women's self-defense class. Once again, one of the top rated workshops in the entire festival, because Interfusion, I do like this, they're good about transparency on the artist side. So they will keep everyone in a certain thread, or they will, after the event, I don't know if the participants know this, the artists get a Excel spreadsheet of all of the comments from the, which it can be tricky because then you get to see also all the other artists' comments. So let's just say you were an artist and you taught a class and I wasn't there. I could go and look and see like, what did people say about your class? Which sometimes, which is inspiring because some of the classes were really good. And then some, I remember like he had a class on like hugs and there was a couple comments about like, this is ridiculous. Why are we hugging the whole time? And people don't really understand fully, let's say, how hug can be incorporated into dance. But it was humorous to me because at that time I really liked Guy, and I was like, LOL, like these guys don't get the hug class. And at the same time, I think it makes us as instructors like always think how we can improve, which is something we talk about all the time. Like even if you're good, you can get better. So for me, even reading other people's comments was like, oh, this is interesting because I get to learn from everyone.
So I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But,
I'm glad you're positive. Thank you.
I'm curious of like where the conflict with Christian comes in this.
Well, that's the thing. It didn't come until recently.
Okay.
But I felt like it wouldn't make sense if I didn't give you the backstory. So
that makes sense.
You're probably like, so what the frick is going on with you and Christian? Exactly, bro. So year one, it's like and I just have an amazing time at Interfusion. I love Zouk. I'm very high level and I get to make people happy on the dance floor, and that has been amazing. So then the like first Interfusion, high class, second Interfusion, high class. The third Interfusion last year, here's the truth. As an instructor, as a sensei, I feel that I would be remiss if my class year after year was similar. Like think about it. If you came to Interfusion 3 years in a row and you were a woman and you're like, this is the only self-defense class that I've liked so far, which was some of the comments, I want to go and do this again. I want to mix it up. So this next time I was a bit more, you could say, I just had a different approach. And truthfully, that approach was not as well received as the last year's. I'll be honest, because I read the comments and there was a couple that were, oh, but the class was huge this time. So that was part of it, is when you get a big room, you can never make anyone happy. Because then some people, like Nelly from out in Bay Area, who was a teacher, she came up to me afterwards and was like, this was such a unique way to be able to approach women's self-defense, because we went more into the psychology of it. I even asked for a volunteer, had a woman come on stage, and we did an exercise that I asked permission to do, where I continued to just be a threatening presence. And she actually ended up getting really, even though she volunteered for the exercise, consented to all the exercises, it was so realistic. And there wasn't, it was all on stage, like as part of the like example. She got kind of triggered and almost like wanted to actually hit me. And it was like, I think the room was a little shocked, like, whoa, that was really intense. But for me, I was like, guys, this is exactly why I did the exercise. You need to see that this shit is real. Like we talk about, you know, like, oh, hit him in the eyes, hit him. Have you ever been or known or had students that are small and had someone big come at them? And you understand that psychology? It's intense. So even though this woman was not, let's say, a petite little woman, the psychology of it hopefully set an example of like, oh, wow. You've got to make that switch from like, oh, I'm just here being dainty, to a monster instantly, because if someone keeps crossing that line, you don't have time to rethink. That's the hard thing. Once someone's hands are on you, so self-defense is a really tricky thing. Anyways, that time I will say that some of the reviews for class were a bit more mixed. Like this was intense, he made someone cry, For me, it's like almost humorous, because I'm like, this is the point of self-defense. Like, I'm not trying to be the little nice guy. Like, let's talk about your feelings. I'm like, no, when a dude comes up and tries to grab you, like, I'm not trying to be your favorite at this moment. But anyways,
were you able to patch that up with that, like with the dancer that was like sort of startled, or I don't even know if it's dancer, with the attendee that was startled by that? Like, were you able to patch that up? Like were you guys able to?
Nice question. I definitely tried to, because I felt the energy of the room afterwards a little bit, and even her, and it was like, oh, well, hey, like, thanks for doing the exercise. Let's talk about this for a little bit. Like, what happened? Why did you switch? And she was kind of like, well, you kept coming at me. And it was like, well, wasn't that the point of the exercise that we agreed to at the beginning?
Mm.
Like, so, but I tried to. And I had a partner at the time there, Sarah Perez, that was with me, and I used her as part of the class, and she helped a little bit because I think it's important to also have a woman. For me, as someone that loves coaching women in self-defense, dance, and otherwise, it's important for me that I set an example when it comes to my relationships with women. Because if I'm always by myself, you've never seen me with women, it would almost be a little bit weird. Like, is this guy, So
Yeah.
one thing I'm proud of is my involvement of my partners of like, oh, come on stage with me. And so we got to talk a little bit and kind of share some things, which I thought was really, really a nice way to interfuse all of those things. So
Right.
anyways, I received payment as a teacher. Everything's fine. Everything's normal, blah, blah, blah. Then, without any other correspondence, I think Christian and I had been texting maybe about something other related. And I'm going to grab this phone, baby, because I want to just read you the email. Like, I don't want to try to just make up something. We're just going to stay straight for a little while, though. So then a certain amount of time later, give me 1 minute to find it.
Mhm.
Christian Rodriguez. By the way, tell me a little bit about this. Whatever, is this a little podcast for you? What is this?
Yeah, so I mean, occasionally I'll make videos like I've made a couple of videos. This is a channel for me. It's called Zouk Line, but I made a video about
Amazing.
dancers that I enjoy, and then like featured Mark and Melissa, and then Brendan Anderson, and actually I had Interfusion feature them one time, and yeah, it's kind of an evolving project that I've been working on. It's a little video thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for being a voice, because we talk about this all the time too. Everyone, it seems, is so scared to talk.
Right.
No one's, and this is part of what's fun for me and why I'm so just almost giddy to, like, let's say, post these little stories and even have this kind of conversation, is because I've thought about it a lot. I've talked to different, like, even psychologists about it, and therapists about it, to make sure that and not just this, but things in my life. I don't want to come from a single track focus mind, because I think that can get warped without us
Right.
recognizing it.
Yeah.
So it's always good to touch base with people that you admire, right? And you're like, hey,
course.
how does this sound? They're like, no, that makes sense. And you're like, okay, I thought so. But I will say that also means the opposite. If your counselor is next to you, let's say my therapist, and this is just part of the Interfusion conversation for me, I recognize my therapist, like, I don't want to work with him anymore. And one of the reasons why is because I think I'm more successful than him in every way possible. Like, and he's overweight, and he's a little balding at kind of a young age. So for me, I'm like, this is not a man that I look up to. So even though part of therapy is just having the conversation, that's what's helpful, I'd much rather do it with her as a
Right.
lawyer, as a life coach, as all of these things that I look up to, that I'm like, I admire you, let me run this by you. Versus, let's say, if someone's overweight, unhealthy, sitting there and they're like, no, this is the right way to do things. And it's
Right.
like, I've studied history enough to know, don't listen to the unhealthy people. So with that being said, one of the reasons it's fun for me to be on here, thank you for having me, or post the stories, is because I'm at this place where I feel it's my responsibility to talk and to share the stories. And I have now waited. Okay, this email came in on October 7th, 2022.
Go for
So
it.
maybe even write that down. So now keep in mind, what month is Interfusion in?
Yeah, right. It's in January. Yeah.
So, bro, I get an email 9 months later,
Uh-huh.
out of the blue, haven't heard anything. 9 months later, I get an email. And now keep in mind, I'm not like, I haven't dropped Christian's name until, what are we in? Well, January. So 3 months. So I gave him 90 days. I gave him 90 days, and I wasn't getting responses from multiple communication sources that I was trying in response to this email. So that's the other thing, is this is the email. I'll read it.
Okay.
And recognize I've tried for 90 days to get a response. Facebook Messenger, I can send you screenshots. Email, I can send you screenshots. I think that's all, because I think those are the two ways that we communicated.
Right.
Okay. Christian Rodriguez, and it's christian.rodriguez@interfusionfestival.com. Dear Tim Wegert, I'm writing on behalf of the consent program of Interfusion Festival in response to a consent incident reported at Interfusion Festival 2022. After review of the case details by our team, the incident reported has been categorized as a major incident of our consent policy standards for which the following applies. First of all, it sounds like lawyer jargon, but
Yeah.
anyways, do you understand what it's saying?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Cool. First major incident. The person who has violated Interfusion's consent code of conduct will be asked to leave. Legal action may be considered. Lifetime expulsion from Interfusion Festival events may be considered. In response, the decision has been made to remove you from participation as an attendee at Interfusion Festival.
Yeah.
Events, okay, for 3 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Or until October 2025, which is also 3 years. I don't understand. Furthermore, participation as an instructor or presenter is removed for all future events. Wow, I didn't even remember that part. Okay, so I can't attend Interfusion for 3 years, and I cannot teach there for the rest of my life. In order to welcome you back to participate as an attendee at Interfusion Festival events after October 2025, clear evidence will need to be provided that displays you are in a more stable and, I don't think that's the right word, cogent, I assume you mean cognizant place,
Cogent, I would imagine.
and
But,
unlikely to exhibit the type of harmful behavior reported at Interfusion Festival. Keep in mind, do we still know anything about what this incident report is? No, it's still completely vague. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I was just
actually
about to ask you that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually don't know. Now, I will say that, nice. Give me 1 second. Okay, 2 miles still. I have an idea, and I'll tell you because, like, I've been racking my brain, of course, right? Like, what was this? But I'll tell you later. This may be provided with a written recommendation from a mental health professional or community organizer, for example, with concrete evidence that your behavior and mental health have significantly improved. We understand you are taking steps towards change and hope to learn that the progress being made will continue long-term for the benefit of those that may be in your presence at events held by other organizations. By reference, see the Consent Code of Conduct and Consent Policy. Sincerely, Christian D. Rodriguez, founder and principal, Interfusion Festival. Go ahead and get in the right way up here. Not all the way right, but like next to it so we can exit. And I responded, my first response was 3 days later, by the way. And I said, and I can literally just show you, like, I don't know if the filter was word for word. I was very shocked to receive this. I'd like to have a few minutes phone conversation with you. With whoever is in charge of this thread. When would be a good time? Timothy, and then my phone number.
Yeah.
I still to this day have not received a response.
Okay. So you don't know what the incident is it's being referred to.
And this is why, for me, it's so ridiculous, because just keep straight for now. It's so ridiculous because it's like, it'd be one thing if I was an attendee, like, let's just say I was from, I don't know, wherever, Bucharest, and I came as an attendee. I went to this festival, something happened, I got kicked out. Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, well, shoot. No, I'm the one that brought students, that promoted it, that taught there, that posted about it for years, that told people about it. We're gonna get this exit. Nice. So for me, it feels like, hey, I'm on your team, bro. Yeah. And then for you just to be like nothing, / no communication. And I want to go to my Facebook Messenger with him. Well, I could go back as far as you want, but I'm looking more recent. Oh, one of it was just even, I think I saw, so this is interesting. This was a message I sent him between Interfusion and the email. So I taught at his event this way. And I have no reason to think that we're not on cool terms. He posted a picture on Facebook with like a black eye and something vague. And as a martial artist, I'm like, yo, Christian, did you get in a fight? Like, what happened? I want to know, right? So I just hit him up in the DMs and I was like, I'm so curious about this situation with the black eye. Like, couple emojis. Are you willing to share more? Question mark. As a fellow martial artist, I'm dying to know. Perfect. And then I sent him a minute 36 voice message, which he saw. I don't necessarily remember what it's about. And then I responded after the email. Oh, so because I didn't get a response on the email, it looks like November 16th, I said, I'm very disappointed you didn't respond to my email asking for further conversation about the Interfusion banning. Disrespectful behavior, especially when considering I taught at your event for 3 years in a row.
Okay.
No response.
And so, then, I mean, I do have a question. So I mean, because you are an athlete and you've done team sports, and then you know sometimes you take a loss though, right? And then so what about this particular event has been driving you to, you know what I mean? Like why not just be like, I don't know what happened, and then just walk away? Like what gets under your skin about this?
That's a really good question. I think one of the reasons is because I want to stand up for the next guy.
Right.
For me, like I feel like I've already won. I've won the game. I'm a world champion now in martial arts, and there's a story about my dance world championships, but now in Brazilian Zouk as well. Yeah. And I have the love of my life, Carla, sitting next to me as we get to travel and do our thing. Oh, I want to give a shout out. We just started a podcast. It's called Perfectly Presidential Podcasters on YouTube, because we love life coaching. We love mentality. We love helping people. And we're excited to share on more of a general sense to try to help people have the best version of their life. So I'm high on life all the time because I think it's the greatest gift ever. And I think people, quite frankly, use it stupidly and get distracted with this kind of stuff, the weeds. Yeah. So for me, when you have an event like Interfusion that is preaching the gospel of Zouk and then to have this lengthy consent policies, then to cancel one of your top instructors without word or warning because someone somewhere made a complaint about me. And the thing is, I don't dance like I dance different. I dance. If you watch Kuna dance, there's many people that think he crosses the line all the time when he dances. So this world of consent, and then you put however many people in a room at Interfusion, and it's like, wait a second, this is your policy? This is bullshit. And you should be ashamed of yourself for calling yourself the theme of Interfusion and then to do this behavior secretly too. That's the thing. Like, you didn't make any posts about me because it would have probably instantly been a scandal. Like, wait, what happened? And then I'm like, wait, I don't even know what happened. And then everyone's like, that's not cool. So instead, it's just like a secret email. You see, 9 months later, it's almost like you're not actually trying to do the right thing. That's the thing for me. And if there's anyone that I have hurt in any way, please come forward. But don't just like share us a gossip, because that's the thing. I'm very gossipable. I feel there's a lot of things about me to talk about because I'm insane. I'm the craziest person you've ever met. I taught myself how to do a double backflip on the ground and landed it, and I've never trained gymnastics. So you know anyone else that's done that? So for me, I'm not sitting here trying to be normal, and also I'm not trying to sit here and let the far left liberal Zouk scene try to be self-righteous about we are the consent, we are the acceptance, we are the wait, you top instructor, we don't like you, cut. It's like bullshit, stop it. And guess what? I grew up in the woods. I'm like a Native American redneck that then became a world champion businessman, like a businessman that owns companies. I'm not someone you mess with. And one of my favorite things to do is to call attention to things that I think are wrong, because they've already tried to hurt me as much as they can. They've stripped me. And that's the thing. Ready? It wasn't Interfusion. That was maybe the first. Then it was boom, banned from this event. Boom, banned from this event. Boom, banned from this event. Why? I'm asking, why am I banned? Oh, I don't know. We have people saying that we're uncomfortable with you being there. Do you know why they're uncomfortable? Because I'm beating their instructor in Jack and Jill, and I have never even been to Brazil to train. Like, I'm a different kind of human, and all the Brazilian instructors, and I want to give in particular, I need to say something about Paulo, because Paulo is one of the people I think that's been kind of on top of it ever since I've trained judges, I've judged, I've won championships, I understand judging. The judging that went down at Zouk Heat 2022 was complete bullshit. And in my mind, I lost respect for him as a head judge when everyone else gave my partner Laura and I first, but Paulo gave me an absurdly low rank with Louisa, of course, they're partnered. And the reason when asked was it wasn't Zouk enough. So now we start understanding the problem. When the people at the top, the ones that are teaching, are cutting things because they think they still understand exactly what Zouk is. And then we have the overall scene trying to be self-righteous about consent and these sort of things. And I haven't done anything egregious. And I will stand by that. And if there's anyone that has anything against me, please let them come on this podcast right here. They can stay at the safety of their room so they don't feel threatened by me. And let's have an actual conversation about what went down. And I will also say, one of the reasons why I have reached the level of dance that I have is because I am an explorer. I am Christopher Columbus sailing across the ocean, like figuring out new things in my head. So in this way, I will admit that there has been times that maybe I pushed someone past their ability to verbalize that their body was ready for. And I am known to, like, hey, if you're going to dance with this person, he might push you to the point of, ooh, I'm a little bit, yes, that's part of my mentality, because if we're all dancing in slow motion, then you don't become an athlete dancer like Melissa is, or Larry, right? Like, so in this way, maybe there's someone that's like, I dance with Tim and it felt a little too fast for me. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, can we dance again? I'll go slower. And I feel that I've mastered so much more now that I had to smooth out some of those edges that takes learning. But to become the best, you need those. So I will not say that I've never danced a little too fast or done a move maybe that I was trying to do a double and they weren't ready and it felt rough. I don't believe I've injured anyone. I feel that I'm extremely careful with that. So it's really tough, Adam. It's tough for me to really know where to go from here, I guess. And I'm curious what you think based on this story. What would you advise me? Like, hey, Timothy, here's what I'd recommend for you.
Well, I have some questions around some of the stuff that you've mentioned, though, because I saw your YouTube channel, like your specific YouTube channel. The name is totally leaving me right now. Is it Timothy's Dreams? Is something to that effect?
That's one of them. Yeah, Timothy's Dreams is the account that I've had for a while, and then Perfectly Presidential Podcasters is kind of a newer focus.
That's like
for
the
me.
new one. So yeah, on your channel, I saw that obviously you're into you have some legal troubles that you're dealing with right now, right?
I have some what?
Some legal troubles that you're dealing with.
Yeah, if you want, we can talk about it. That's part of, I think, the drama for sure.
Right.
Is because of this. But also, Adam, I would just go back to, like, no one's asked me about it. No one's.
Well, yeah.
There's just been like sharing the police reports, and I would love to talk about that all day long, because the corruption in the police force in America is also one of my top things that I'm going after right now.
Right.
And part of it is because I've experienced it firsthand, what my brothers in the cell are still dealing with, and I just happen to escape the system that is being more corrupt than the redcoats back in the 1700s. It's ridiculous, but continue.
No, so do you think that has an effect on because you were saying that multiple events have said that you aren't welcome there at this time?
Oh, probably. I think that's part of it, is like, it's just easier to cancel him. Like, we don't really know what's going on. We heard some police report, something, like, let's just kind of ban him. But here's where I'm coming from, Adam, is like, wait, that's not thorough anything. That's not the way to deal with things. That's like adolescent 1.0. What about this can we not, like, I'm really surprised there hasn't been this before. And again, I'm proud of you for stepping up and doing it. Why why couldn't one of the organizers be like, hey, Tim, like, boom, we got an XYZ. But here's the thing, you got to make it public, because I had some calls with Laura up in Toronto, and her little like psychologist boyfriend over there, like judging me on the side, trying to, and then like I'm on the phone with them for multiple hours, and then nothing ever happens with it. They just like go their little secret ways and like whisper to the other Zouk instructors. And I'm recognizing the like, oh, you guys are the little Zouk cult. Like, no, it's time to give power to the people, tell the
Right.
stories, have honesty, go have fun, and let's level up dance. Because here's what I don't like. What I don't like is by me not being allowed, it 1000% takes away from the overall level of Zouk. Because whether you think I'm like top or not quite top, I'm
Right.
still in the top. There's no like doubting that. So then you're taking someone that's a cutting edge dancer and athlete, and you're being like, we don't want you around. Wait, why wouldn't it be like, okay, well, you can, like, it doesn't make sense. Why am I can't compete? I can't,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, I didn't do anything.
So if I were to play, if I won't say devil's advocate, but if I give you some pushback on that, insofar that it like Interfusion, Christian's the organizer. It's are you still okay? Sorry, it froze for a second. Christian's the organizer. It's his event, so he gets to choose who attends and who doesn't, who teaches, who doesn't. So what's to stop, like, what why wouldn't you be like okay with that decision, I guess, is the question.
Wow, I really like this question, because now we get to the topic of like free will, free choice, free business,
Yeah.
marketplace. And I like this about the marketplace is the freedom to make choices. So as the director, he has the right to say, hey, I don't want you to teach anymore. Totally fine. I think for me, there's the issue of the banning is like, well, hey, you didn't even tell me what happened. I just feel like that's like the worst in the worst process ever. Like, wouldn't it make much more sense, even right as you hear the report while it's fresh, you just like give me a call, or you send me a text like, hey, we need to chat for a minute, something came up. And he knows I would have been on that like this. Hey, we had this report, XYZ. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, let's talk about it. What needs to happen? How can we, I don't even know. At this point, this process, no, this is backhanded, it's sly, it's deceptive, because it is not upfront with something that is egregious, like taking a top instructor and telling them you can't come to the event anymore. So for me, also then it comes down to if he has the ability to mistreat me, I always have the right to speak up about it. And as someone that literally trains ninjas, this is part of the process, is you must learn when to use your words. Because the other thing, Adam, is it fuels emotion in my body, right? Like, I feel upset. I feel, no. It's important for me to be a master of my emotions. And part of that means talking about it, sharing or doing the thing that I can. So for me, by saying, hey, listen, I really don't like what Christian did to me. I really don't like what Interfusion did to me. I really don't like Interfusion's processes, their communications. I think they're being hypocritical, and
which I get. I get that you are unhappy with the way that it was handled, right? Like I get that. But I think with your post, it creates it kind of paints a picture that it's a little bit ominous, it's a little bit threatening, and then so for other attendees, like I think there's a concern that like, oh, is Tim going to show up? Like, is he going to like show up to this event? Is he going to do something crazy? Like, what's his plan?
Yeah, so for me, Adam, consent. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, so I was going to ask. So like, are you like just point blank? Are you going to go? Are you going to show up at Interfusion?
Oh, I do not feel like that is something that I would answer, even if I was.
Even if you were, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
and then
if you want to get to Zouk Mexico, like Zouk Family in Mexico, part of what I want people to recognize is you're not dealing with a normal person. I am a samurai. I am a ninja. You cannot cancel a ninja. Think about that.
Right. Yes. However, yes.
If you be like, ninja, you're canceled. The ninja just laughs, and then here's the ninja response is, yeah, they told me you would say that, like when they trained me. Like, we understand the process of like, oh, you're a ninja now, we don't want you around, because the number one things that ninjas do are they make other people jealous, especially if you're really handsome or really beautiful.
Yeah.
Then a lot of jealousies, a lot of insecurities. And the truth is, I was at a Lambo function the other day, like literally a Lamborghini function,
Yeah.
with a concert. I literally was just chilling the whole time and got asked to leave. Why? Because everyone couldn't stop looking at me, and then they said I was a distraction. So then they asked me to leave, and I got escorted out by the guard. Like, this is my
Right.
life, and so people don't really understand. Like, but that doesn't make sense. Are you a supermodel? Like, because it's a different kind of world there, and it's important for people to recognize we gotta protect the innocent. You
Yeah.
also have to protect the leaders, and that's the thing. That's the conversation that I'd rather shift to: is who's looking after the artists, who's looking after the
Yeah.
leaders. Not just your little like comfort room where you have some Quiznos subs, but for me as someone that invested my life knowledge into Interfusion. That's the thing.
Right.
If I'm going to teach, I'm going to bring my A game. So for me to put my face with your name and then you to stab me in the back, no, it's a ninja's way is not to just be like, that's too bad. And then people will say, Tim, just go where you're welcome. No. I'm welcome everywhere. There's just 10 people that don't like me. So I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to put it in their face and I'm going to call attention to it. And I'm going to make all 10 of them hate me more, but the rest of the world more awake. And then here's where I feel so happy about it is it doesn't really affect me either way because I'm going to live my life. For example, Zouk Family. I was banned from, yeah.
Wait, I do want to talk about Zouk Family, but before we move past Interfusion though, there are what about the other attendee other than the 10 people who have that you feel have wronged you? There are other attendees who, they just bought a ticket, they want to go, but then they see a post that is like, hey, look out, people. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to feel afraid going to an event.
Adam,
Is there any reason for
why
them?
I'm doing it though? They need to know what Interfusion is. There's no righteousness in the attendees being blind. And if you attend for the first time and and you're like, this was amazing, this is the best thing ever. Well, okay, now let me tell you the 4-year story. That's a 1-year story. I felt the same. Let me tell you the 4-year story. So yeah, for me it's a little bit about if wrongness is done, I believe in restitution. One way that restitution is very sweet, beautiful, legal, safe, unharmful is just communication. Because
Right.
And I want to say this now. The other thing is you just go old school and you challenge someone to a duel. That's part of the judicial system in the old days. It's just like, if you guys are really like can't work out your differences, go fight about it on your own. Don't involve the public. So this is where I kind of agree with you. It's like, no, Adam, I don't want to be having this conversation with everyone. I'd rather Christian fucking text me back. Like,
Right.
Email me back, text me back, or I'm just going to keep talking about it publicly and make you feel weird. Wouldn't it be easier to respond to a text? Now who has the power? So that's the thing. It's like, for me, it's just taking back the power and the reputation that was stripped from me as an instructor that spent his whole life teaching women's self-defense, consent, being the best person he could on the dance floor, protecting other people on the dance floor, literally helping remove the unsafe, getting articles in the paper written about me because I risked my life to protect a woman that was getting attacked by a knife. Like, I'm the last person that. So then for me to get this sort of backstabbing, it's like, you don't even understand how hard I'm working. I feel like I'm trying to be a superhero and all of you keep painting me as a villain. And this is the reason why you keep staying in an old school place and mindset and not allowing. And for me, it's a bigger conversation of the globe. It's time to elevate into the next level of consciousness and be better now, not just talk about it in some little workshop over an Interfusion with your guarded gates and consent code that's so long that anyone would trip over it.
I think the risk though is that it comes off as though you're trying to force acceptance. When it seems like wouldn't a more effective way to be, just create the Timterfusion or whatever, your own event, and then it's so much better than everywhere else that people would go to Tim's event and not Interfusion.
Yeah, I like that. Well, okay, this is also part of my life because I don't just like talking. I like winning and I like accomplishing things.
Right.
So for me, it's about putting my foot down where I feel like it's needed, but also continuing to be the best version of myself. Thus, the new podcast, thus, private training. And I'm excited to even set an example of what Zouk can be. That's what I'm doing next. But no, I've taught enough events and this kind of stuff. I'm a bit more of a free bird right now. So the idea for me of even showing an example to Zookers, because the truth is Zouk is lost in the past right now. That's part of it. Is when I come in and I teach and I do these things, I have a totally different mentality and I dance outside of their little box.
Right.
Zouk has become the new NASCAR. They just go around in little circles the same way. And as someone that studied kinesthetics my entire life, it's not healthy for our body to keep spinning the same way. We need to start drilling both sides. We need to start actually becoming balanced, aware, in tune dancers. And I walk into a workshop right now at a Zouk event, and it's like walking into, it's one reason I liked Zouk in the first place is because they weren't teaching like the other dance styles. Everyone learning a little choreo and the follows, trying to make sure they get it right, and everyone dancing like robots.
Right.
Nah, you lost it. You lost it. All of you lost it. Zouk is
Yeah.
not Zouk right now. Or we have to create something else. And that's why for me, another term that I want to brand is Dance of the Elves, as in ELVES from, let's say, Lord of the Rings. For
Yeah.
me, this is the best example we have of a higher level of consciousness that doesn't royally fuck it up. The elves are fucking gods. Like,
Right.
and this is my goal. I'm like, how can we dance in this way that doesn't need Zouk? But Zouk did something that a lot of dances did not have the capacity to reach, and that is they opened up the body in this way that's actually very good for the energetic flow. Zouk is
Right.
a very healthy dance, but then you go in the same direction
Yeah.
98.5% of the time, and it will F up your body. So even for me, my goal, Adam, is I want to keep posting videos. Like, nah,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
want to start an Interfusion. I've run martial arts stuff before. I'd rather be on a mountaintop with her, with our videographer and a beautiful setting, and do a dance video that makes everyone like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that is new. Like, no one's doing those moves. Interesting. And it's
Yeah.
still funny to me. It's still funny. Zookers, go back to the original. What is the classic Zouk black and white video? What is it, Adam? I'm gonna test your
Yeah, of course, with Evelyn and
Of course,
yeah,
right? Evelyn
Shandy,
and
yeah, and Shandy, right?
right.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
go watch that video again.
right,
I dare everyone to, because that's the video that got most of us hooked. Or you saw it at some point and you thought, this is different. This is not choreography. This is not just how many how many
right,
pirouettes can we do, Paulo and Luisa? We get it. We get it. You're good at those. But when it actually comes to dropping into this different place, we need different teachers. We need teachers. And I want to give Kuna a shout out because he's been one of the best in the Zouk scene for me with this. And me, because the way that I teach is totally different. And ask some of my students about it. Ask like what the experience is. And then my request to the Zouk scene is, no, just how about we just be like, hey, it's 2023, let's reintegrate this guy and give him a chance. And like, I promise I'll be on my best behavior. She'll make sure of it. And no, I want to walk in, I want to say hi to my friends, I want to like shake Christian's hand and be like, congrats on another event, thanks for responding back and just clearing this up. Because even this year, no, I'm not there registered as a teacher, but I would love to attend. I would love to walk down the halls with a pass comp for both of us, comped by Interfusion, because I taught there the last 3 years. Like, that's the least you can do is like, hey, no,
yeah,
I'm not gonna pay Interfusion $600 for the two of us to get in. When I taught there the last 3 years, I'm the best Zouk lead there. And I know you might be like, this guy is talking so much. I will challenge that's the thing. I want to challenge any Zouk lead to like a one-on. Like, we'll make it a really fair competition, but I challenge anyone, any instructor that I've mentioned or have not, like, let's go. Because I'm not just here being like, oh, I know what. No, don't cancel the number one dude. It's not the good thing for your scene. And because I'm a world champion of martial arts, I understand the ranking system and what happens.
right,
And there's so much ego involved. There's so much pride involved. Why not at least allow me to have a workshop? Why not allow the community of Interfusion to actually see the knowledge of the body, the mind, the spirit that's in my head to unlock their Zouk 10 times faster than any other instructor will. And I want to keep pointing to the other instructors because I want to ask them to level up. For me, they're not my friends anymore. Kuna's still a friend. But the other instructors, the ones that we used to like be in the same room together, I'm not friends with them. So I'm okay being like, hey, step up, step your scene up, stop with this petty BS, let me back into the Zouk scene, and you're not going to phase me regardless of what you do because I'm going to continue to live my life. And for anyone watching, hit me up. I'll still do private trainings. I'll lead retreats. Those are sometimes the most fun thing anyways. And I'm going to continue to move on. So that's my other message for, let's say, those instructors that maybe will watch this and be like, we do not like this guy. I don't care. You cannot get rid of him.
So what happens in the event that if you were to approach Christian and he or anyone or at any of these events and they just say, sorry, no, that's not something that we want right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to take the no or like?
Well, at a certain point, when you are, at a certain point, consent is both people being able to say no. So even for me, when it comes to, let's say, someone saying, someone going back on their word, that's what I want to talk about. Because that's one of the reasons why it's been really hard for me, is I have had promises from organizers. Bruno and Faye, I already had an agreement with them months before. I'll just use the example of Sunset Zouk Marathon earlier this year, first one in Florida. We had agreed that I was going to talk about it and promote it to my friends, and I was going to get comped certain things.
Right.
And they did not follow through on that commitment, and they backed out last minute. Now, here's the issue, Adam. I had already talked to my friends about it. I had already posted about it. So this is where, for me, I'm like, no, bro, that's not how business works. You can't be like, do your side of the bargain. Okay, just kidding. And then not say anything about it. That's the other thing. If they didn't even put a post like, hey, guys, I want to apologize because some of you, I literally had people going to the event because they knew I was there. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, sorry, guys, I can't go. You see how, like, no, this is messed up. Then there's no negative publicity for them. They don't have to say, I'm not saying, oh, I'm not bringing up a matter then, but now I am. It's been enough. It's been enough lies, enough going back on their words, Bruno and Faye. I was even disappointed that Lisa, who I thought we were close in Denver, I was going to be at Pajamathon, and that was another last minute, like, hey, actually, we don't. No, it's time for people to actually stand by their word and stop giving in to one or two complainers and recognizing what's better for the overall scene.
Okay, so moving to Zouk Family, what happened at Zouk Family?
What have you heard? Let me start with that.
Well, I was at Zouk Family, and from what I understand, from what I understand, you weren't invited to Zouk Family, but you attempted to attend.
That's not true. I was invited to Zouk Family.
You're invited? Okay, so then what happened? You tell me.
Well, the previous year, I was at Zouk Family, and I was then invited back to Zouk Family. And one of the reasons I was invited back is I was literally one of the stars of Zouk Family. Even at the end, one of my last memories was Kuna walking up to me as I was dancing with someone at the final sunrise. You know how it is.
Of course.
And everyone's just like, we don't want to leave. And then he said, hey, Brenda is about to leave, but before she leaves, she wants to do a video with you and I. So I obviously wasn't being anything too crazy because this was my life at the end of Zouk Family. Now, so I say that to say that I don't feel I had anything against Zouk Family. There was nothing there. But then this is just where the Zouk corruption, good analogy for the U.S. government right now, once it infiltrates the circle, it's very hard to break. Because I was planning on going to Zouk Family, and I even reached out because my partner of a long time, Anya, knows Sasha and Blanca really well, was at their wedding. We've been on a double date with them. Like, I know them a bit. So I messaged Sasha one-on-one. It's more how I like to do things as personal relationships anyways. And like, hey man, I know there's a lot of things going on about me. I could probably even just read it to you. Like, would you be down for a phone call? Or it was something like, hey, I want to make sure you're still cool with me coming because I wanted to be respectful of him at this event.
Right.
He was like, hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm gonna let the whatever team, because there's different teams within our
Yeah.
Zouk family. I'm gonna let them worry about it. Didn't hear anything back for a while. Message back. Didn't hear anything. Didn't hear anything. Then it finally came in, very short, from some random person. Hey, Tim, we've decided not to allow you in because we have a policy, and I think this policy was brand new for me, that if you are banned from 3 events, then you can't come to this event.
Right.
That's not even, that's just a made up thing to like have an answer then.
Right.
And that was when, Adam, I just decided enough is enough. There
Okay.
was so many events that I was planning on going to and even arranging travel for. That's the thing. So now it's like involving my life and my friends planning, and they're trying to see me. And now it's just, I feel like messing up my whole life. It's like, this is not okay. So
Right.
I was in San Francisco at the time in my Corolla, which we're in now. Nice. And truthfully, I wasn't gonna go. I was like, you know what? I can't believe it. I was so excited for Zouk Family. This is ridiculous. And I'm not sure what it was, but it was just a final straw. Like, you know what? This is ridiculous. And if nothing else, I want to show the Zouk scene a couple things. You cannot control me, and you never will be able to. I am completely harmless. And one reason you know this is because you know if I wanted to actually do damage, I could literally do unspeakable things to anyone. So, like, that's the thing, is like, if I was a bad person, be thankful I'm not. Am I right, baby? So, like, you can't control me. I'm a good person. And stop going back on your word. I was already invited, and I already had, how much do I want to say here? A ninja cannot tell all of its secrets. So here's what I did. I drove 40 hours in 3 days by myself to get across the country because I made a decision. I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to Zouk Family, and you can't stop me. So I drove 16 hours one day, slept in my car, drove 12 hours, slept in my car 12 hours, got home, repacked, and took a last-minute flight to Mexico. And from there, I got to have the most amazing time because instead of staying in their moldy little Ozen huts, I was staying in resorts the whole time. And I got to spend a lot of time with Queen Carla, and I got to show up at Zouk Family a couple times and participate. And I will say that I checked in and had a wristband, and then, long story short, from there, but I ended up on one of the nights that I was there, I was in full ninja garb. And I think that everyone was just like, who is this person? Who is this ninja among us?
Yeah.
And ended up, well, it just got to the point where, and this is, I'm glad we're getting to this because I wanted to tell the story a little bit before I officially released. I have a rap that I've written for the Zouk scene a little bit in particular.
A rap? Is that you said? Uh-huh.
Yeah, it starts like this. You have no clue what I could do to all 12 of you. And the reason is because at the end, they made a circle of 12 men around me. Keep in mind, I had done nothing wrong. I had 12 men threatening and just enclosing in. And I look around and I'm like, they had no idea who I was. And in particular, I knew several of them. Sasha was in the group, and you can ask, like, did this happen? Did 12 people encircle a ninja? And they're gonna be like, it's true, it did happen. Dimitri from Atlanta was there. Derek, Evelyn's wife, was there. Sasha was there. The scrawny little hermit who runs Ozen was there. And that was part of it, is they were just like asking me a lot of questions, like, hey, who are you? Da, da, da. And I was like, listen, like, I'm here. I was invited. I checked in. Da, da, da. And that might seem contradictory, like, hey, how did you check in? But then at the end, you were banned. And this is what I recognize, because there's not communication in the groups. So if I'm on the invited list and then in charge of this decision, let's call him George, George messages me and like, hey, we're not allowing you. Here's what I found. No one else knows. Only George, or maybe George and the head person. Right. So then I just come in and I'm like, because it's me and everyone likes me for the most part, and they're just like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like, da da da, do my thing, go in. Then maybe George sees me and then it's confusing. So I really feel bad for the 12 people that encircled because they had no idea what was going on. They were trying to be helpful by like, is this a dangerous person? What's going on? And my response to that would be, listen, I have a wristband, leave me alone. Like, you can wear whatever you want at Zouk Family. Like, why this discrimination against ninjas? That's not cool. So then also I want to say it's never smart to enclose someone, because in the art of self-defense and when it comes to war, a circle is a full-blown attack. It is, we have you surrounded. Like, so it was this close, Adam. It was this close. It was looking around. And the thing is, it wasn't a circle 10 feet away. It was a circle doing this. Just slowly. And I'm not stupid. And I can send you video evidence of other times of this happening around the world, because life is crazy and travel is crazy, where you have to get out of that situation. So for me, it was a quick decision. Like, do I want to go to war? Because at this point I am threatened. Oh, and the first, I already had it like mapped out, because as a ninja, you must be ready. Dimitri was getting kicked in the face first, a complete knockout, because he's a martial artist and he has skills, so I would have to take him out first. Derek is also a martial artist and very strong, so he was getting it second. It was going to be Dimitri, Derek. That was already planned. And you might be like, this is crazy, you're talking about this. No, one of my points is it's not okay to make a circle of attack around anyone without knowing anything, without knowing what's going on. This is not okay. This is not how you be polite. This is not how you be appropriate. And I was having a conversation with the manager of the event. Also, I want to say this. I am very disappointed, because the Zouk scene is the most hypocritical Zouk group right now. And I say this generically. There's many amazing people in the Zouk scene. And in particular, though, one reason that they're doing this is, let's say, Zouk Family. You know, if you've gone to Zouk Family, there's a no meat policy. You know that there's a no drug policy. I have physical evidence from last year and this year of screenshots, conversations, and otherwise of many, many people breaking that. And you know that's the case, including top organizers. And I don't want to have to release that. I don't want to have to be like, you hypocritical, not like, so I'm just going to say, this is, for me, this is part of my research project. And it's so fun to finally talk about it, because I've planned weeks, months for this kind of sharing, because I want to make sure that when people come at me with like, hey, XYZ, it's like, no, XYZ, I have it mapped out. So in this way, I call for them to be better, because if you're going to stand by that one little policy, so you could say, well, Tim, you broke a policy. You were not allowed in Zouk Family. You came to Zouk Family. You broke the rules. Yeah? How many rules do you want me to go down with what substance? And it's just hilarious to me. And even one little connection that I want to make, because I'm very disappointed in this man, little psychologist Michael from Canada, Laura's friend. He was one of the first people I saw breaking the rules the first year. He was eating a hamburger. Ask him. And he got so embarrassed, because I was like, oh, is that a hamburger? I didn't know there was no meat allowed. And he was like, bro, don't talk about this. And I was like, wait, what's going on? He's like, there's no meat allowed here. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I didn't even know, right? So then even for me, this little like triangle of, wait, you're on the call to scrutinize me and my behavior and my like mindset. You're breaking rules over in Zouk Family. Like, stop. Let's be better now. Stop complaining. Stop doing false accusations. Stop being pansies. Actually get better at things. Honest communication. It's okay to talk about things openly like this. It's not okay to do egregious things. Recognize that if you do egregious things, then the person gets to talk honestly about it. And just most people aren't as good at talking as me, so it's going to be more painful when it comes to me, because I do my research before I cut to the chase. So my request is a full reinstatement from the U.S. Zouk scene of, hey, okay, let's start over, whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep having fun, picking them apart and embarrassing them in every way that I can, because it's not okay for it to slide. That's the thing. I'm not going to just like, I'll just let it slide. And even if it's just posting the best Zouk videos, because everyone else is dancing and like Mark and Melissa, they're amazing, right? They're cutting edge. I respect that. Louis and Larissa are cutting edge. But so many are just doing the same thing that you did 4 years ago. It's like, it's time to be better now. Can we focus on that? Can you not see how I can help with the future of this dance?
So what happened at World Zouk, because there's an incident at the World Zouk Congress in Arizona. What happened there? There's an incident at that
Oh
event,
wow,
right?
you know a lot of the stuff.
I've,
Cool.
I've been around. I've been around. Yeah.
Good, good. You know your things too. Okay. I haven't even told you this, and I don't know how much. um, feel that I'm going in depth to a lot of stories, so I'll just give the short black and white version of Zouk World Championships.
Yep.
I competed in 2 divisions. I made it into the final in both divisions. But more than that, Adam, as a competitor, you have to recognize the energy going into the finals. Like, are you one of the top going into the final? Are you one of the bottom? Like, where are you ranking? The whole room was just watching me and whoever I was partnered with, along with a couple other top. It was very, very clear that I had everyone's attention going into the final. Then, Adam, as I'm sitting literally in the walkway of the hotel, that's beautiful. Wow. Of the hotel lobby, eating food and reclining. In between the preliminary, where I made it into the final in both of my divisions, and the final, it's just interesting how someone somewhere complained to security about me. And I was approached by the security of the hotel, not the dance event, with um first they asked me to like sit up because I was laying on a couch. And I know security sometimes they just need to like make sure that they feel that they have control. So I sat up, like okay, whatever, kept eating my food. I don't even know if I got off the couch, Adam. Like I was still on the couch. 5 minutes later, 10, I don't know. But now it's not just one security, it's three, of course, because they see me and they're like, bring everyone. They bring three, which is just funny because nothing. Then they say to me, hey, we caught you on, something like, we're asking you to leave. We have reports that you're making people uncomfortable. I think that was what they said. And I was
Okay.
like, what? What do you mean? And like, ask for who? Who? What are they asking for? Show me evidence, because this is part of the just right now we have an accusatory system. In the law, it's the same, by the way. And this is part of the legal thing. I can send you, this will be fun. I can send you a short little video now of the tape that I have of the woman who accused me of assault and battery, of me literally just standing there, putting my hands up in the air, and then police charging at me because of this accusation. This is the world we live in. If you're a woman and you accuse a man of something, it's almost like guilty. And it doesn't matter, because even if they're innocent, they don't find out for a year, which is the case of me, even though it's like they're still pushing off court, pushing off court, pushing off court. And it's like, this is so ridiculous. So an accusation, I feel that we're in a society now that if there's an accusation made, it would be much smarter, safer, more realistic to be accurate to guess that the opposite is correct. I feel that this is the society. Like, if I suddenly am like, Adam hit me, I think the first question should be like, did Tim hit Adam?
Right. Right.
Right? Like, if you had siblings as a kid,
Oh, of
this is how
course.
it
Yeah.
goes. Like, who
Yeah.
tattled to mom first? And then
Right.
mom's like, shoot, who did it? So in this way, let's say security comes, and then I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Who said what? And I can't figure out. Part of me thinks it's a lead. Part of me thinks it's a lead that was in the competition that was just like, there's no way I'm gonna win if Tim's there. Let me try to get him expelled. And I wouldn't say that, except I've already experienced that in the martial arts world. That's part of the game. Like, how can you get the number one dude out? And in martial arts, it gets dirty. Sometimes it's like, well, I could hurt him.
Right.
Like, if you fight them and you hit them a little too hard, and then they can't really breathe, it's easier to beat them.
Right.
So playing dirty is part of the game, but that doesn't mean that that it's okay. It doesn't mean it's okay. So I don't know if it was a guy that complained, or if it was, I don't know why it'd be a girl, because there was no interactions with females that were negative in any way.
Well, but
I don't know.
so there's a
Yeah.
complaint made. Then were the police called, or was it just the security, or like
Oh,
how did it
but here's
end?
what happened. So security was like, and I asked them, I was like, provide proof. And I was like, they said, I quote, we have video. We found you on video, or we saw you on video touching and grinding on girls. Now think about it. You're at the Brazilian Zouk World Championship,
Oh, right.
and
Yeah.
they got you on video, touching and riding. Like I was like, "Are you serious? Like I'm here with the dance event. Like that's why I'm here." And they nothing. It was just like, you just got to go. It was just, and because I'm dealing with legal shit. Otherwise, I'm in this. I was in this place of being like, it's better just to go now because everything is getting like cleared up, and it just I have the evidence like proving my innocence. I'm more ballsy now because
Yeah.
like if you ask my lawyer, should I be having this conversation? They're like, no, 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 because that's the right thing to do. No, I'm 100% confident in all of my things, so I don't mind talking about it in this way. I ended up leaving. Then I came back a while later. Oh, I was by the pool, and then they came out again and was like, no, 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 you have to leave the whole hotel. We've checked you out of your room. Keep in mind, I have a whole suite to myself, zero roommates, just like I'm just chilling.
Hmm.
Wait, I have to leave? I have to pack up and leave? This is ridiculous. I have, and they're like, the police are on the way. I don't know. I never saw any police. Security loves saying that because it's just like security can't really do much. They just call the police. So then, but I'm like, I can't deal with this. I leave. I message the organizers like, this just happened. Please help me. I want to be there for the final. They saw it, never responded, and then the gossip just starts. And then, can you imagine? Can you imagine being a participant? Like, you see the prelims, you're like, that's cool. Whoa, who's that guy? Okay, he makes it to the final. Cool. Then the final comes, and he's just gone. He's just
Yeah.
nowhere to be seen. And you're like, wait, where's that dude? And then I'm not there. So then everyone's like, where is he? And then the only thing that they can say is security asked him to leave. Wait, why did security ask to leave? I don't know. Something about making people uncomfortable. So you see, like, it doesn't matter because now everyone thinks that I'm doing something because there's an accusation that gets a result. So
Right.
that's why for me, I'm outraged at this kind of thing happening. And it happens to other people. Sam, great lead from New York. Have you heard? It was a
Of
while ago,
course.
but
Of course.
like the things that happen to, and then later we find out like, that was BS. This woman's tripping, but it didn't. It doesn't change the fact that Sam was canceled as an instructor in some events immediately. Think about that. Just think. It was false accusations, but Sam doesn't matter. He was stripped of his rank as a teacher instantly without question.
Right.
And shame on Ebony for posting in the first place without doing her research. That's also part of the blasphemy. Like, that's not okay either. Shame on Chinky from Richmond for not researching it before canceling him as an instructor. For me, it's all connected. And I'm the guy that's going to speak about it because no one else is. So, yeah, what else do you want to know? And I think
Um.
that's where part of it just came from is like, oh, well, then it's like, well, Tim got removed from this, so I guess we should just remove him from that. And then it's like,
Right.
oh, he got removed from 2, we should definitely move from 3. So again, my request is, hey, just false, like, let's just start over. Let's be better. Let me lead some workshops. Let me teach my privates. Oh, and then here's where you know, and I want to give you evidence and numbers to even show you. In October, I moved to Denver specifically for 5 weeks to teach dance. Ready? This was months after Zouk World Championship. So
Okay.
either I'm the world's best predator. I'm either the world's best predator that like can just get anything,
Hmm.
or I'm a halfway decent guy that's good at what he does and somehow is misunderstood. Because I went to Denver. In the first 2 weeks that I was there, I taught 22 private lessons.
Wow. Correct. Yeah.
So either I'm just pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, or that was months later and the scene itself is fine, but then the leadership is trying to cancel me. So I'm here today to cancel the leadership, which is why I'm using names like Chinky and Ebony and Lisa and Bruno and Faye and Paolo and Louisa and Guy and Christian. And like for me, these are the names that need to be called out. Like, okay, conversation, let's go. Oh, Laura, Michael, Sasha.
So okay. So the broad, okay, I'm gonna take a step back at the whole broad picture though. So the broad picture is, okay, there's this instructor who was very popular for a long time and was doing well, competing well, and then And then he has a couple run-ins with the law, right? Which I mean, I know about that a little bit because I watched your the evaluation that you posted on your YouTube channel. So like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like so I watched that, so I know a little bit about your backstory and your siblings
Thanks.
and all that stuff. So you have what like just you have 2 arrests on your record, like historically, or are
Yeah.
there more, or is just only the 2?
Um, nah, technically 3.
3. Okay,
Within
so
a matter of like 3 months, which I know that doesn't help, right? You're like, oh my goodness. But
right,
but here's where I stand by. No, all 3 were complete bullshit arrests,
right,
and one led to the next. So it's you could be like, again, I'm either the world's best supervillain and I'm really like sneaky and I'm getting away with all these things, or there's something to be said for how my character is different and people don't. It doesn't really correspond well with our current level of corrupt society. I
right.
was at a church on Easter Sunday. I was trying to protect someone. I was talking to security and police. And I would really actually like to send you these videos after, and maybe you can just put it in the
Sure.
recording because I want people to see the evidence. I want to show you the actual video of the confrontation that the woman accused me of assault and battery, got me arrested, injured my knee, and all of these things. And I want to show you how I reacted and what went down. So that was the big one. It was that got me arrested. That got me. I lost my job. I got instantly questioned in the Zouk scene, all because a woman said when the police, after they tackled me for no reason because they all were charging me, and I was like, I'm not gonna stay in this way and get tackled. Once they handcuffed me, they were they went back to her, of course, and said, well, what happened? And she's like, uh, he attacked me. Okay, cool. He attacked her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and of course, resisted arrest because that's something they just like to throw in there for fun. If what's interesting is it is not illegal to run away from a crime you did not commit. Like if you did not steal something and run away because someone is stealing, does not make you guilty. And just careful, baby, there will be some cops. Speaking of police,
Yeah,
she's
right.
rolling at 100. We're gonna get to Miami fast. Anyways, last thing we just talked about.
Oh yeah.
I'd
So
like to send
what's
a
the
video.
third? What's the third arrest? Because there's the
Yeah.
Miami one, there's the
Yep,
church
I
one,
got
and
you.
what's the third?
So right after the woman accused me of assault and battery, I was arrested. Totally, the police are corrupt pretty much everywhere. Charlotte, North Carolina is no exception. Lost my job. My life was just kind of like. So the next week, Adam, I was so excited just to go to this church. It's a church that I was volunteering at on Easter Sunday that I've donated at for years. I've thrown watch parties for. Like I've really been a fan of this church. And so I went back just for me though. Like honestly, in a total different mood. Just like I just need some praise and worship. I need some. I walked in the front door. Stupid fat officer Tran walked in front of me. What's your name? I told him my name because I wasn't trying to hide anything. I was just like, huh? You're under arrest for trespassing.
Oh,
At
just out of
church,
the
bro.
blue. No,
At
no.
church.
There's no history for them to like. Were you not welcome at the church
Well, keep
previously?
in mind, the week before, I was
Oh,
arrested at the same church.
oh, I see
But
what you're saying.
in my mind, I didn't do anything. And this last week has been hell. I just want to go to church. Like, I'm just walking in, like, to be a part of the church service. I'm not trying to do like helpful thing like I was last time. Like, sorry about that. Instantly got arrested, and then I'll send you this video too if you want. I'm just like, hey, can I just go? Like, I'll just go home. Like, I'm not trying to be any kind of like, I'll just go. No, you're under arrest.
Wow. And then
So
so
then now I
okay.
have two. Now I have two arrests, right?
Yeah.
Then I end up. Wow, you see the sun behind us coming through the clouds. Then there was an incident in Miami a couple months later that had nothing. Oh, and that's what I want people to recognize too. Like all 3 arrests, nothing had to do with dance or Zouk or teaching or any of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was a church incident, and then there was an incident in Miami, and I could talk for a long time about it. But the bottom line is, I could just send you a video as well of where I literally had to defend myself from the police under risk of my own life being taken out after hours of complying, hours of complying in multiple locations, and then them not knowing what to do with me because they arrested me. Adam, I like right hand in the Bible, I was putting on sunscreen, not next to anyone, in front of a club where 50 beautiful women were like watching me and like being a part of a party. And the officers watching decided to arrest me, and I wasn't even touching anyone, wasn't close to anyone. This is just the level of corruption that we live in. And thankfully, I was recording myself as the arrest happened. So that's the thing. It's like I have so much evidence, and because I'd like to be thorough, I'm not concerned for, oh, and they're trying to put me in jail for 80 years because when I had to defend myself against the officers, I hurt one or multiple. And
Wow.
even at the very end, when I was promised like safe passage, the one officer that was ego tripping hard the whole time couldn't help it, ran forward and just shot me right in the chest with a taser. Thank God. After promising safe passage, this is the level of police work we're dealing with. And then when you shoot a ninja with a taser after you just told them, no, we promise everyone's behind the line, you can come out of hiding. So when I was shot, and then the report, I think, says I was shot by 2 officers, but I think one of them might have missed. But regardless, it didn't faze me. I ripped it out of my body, and I went and I took his ear off with a spear that I had made.
Wait, you actually took off an officer's ear? Are you serious?
Part of it.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'll just send you the video, post it up there. And like, I have no reason to hide it because this is part of my story when I go to court. Like, I'm going to show this video. I'm proud of it. I'm not scared of it. And the reason I'm proud of it is his life was spared because if you put a spear in my hand, I'm not going to miss your entire head. It was me wanting to get him away from the taser and disarm him, and I decided to spare his life because I don't know, because it's really hard for me to kill people. So even in this way, he's lucky. He's lucky that but it was also me because there was 14 officers around, 14. And I knew that if I took out an officer, they would just shoot me. So it was also like me calculating risks of, okay, once again, they've lied to me. They have not respected my boundaries, and they tricked me once again. And now they shot me. And like, if they shot me with one thing after they promised safe passage, why wouldn't they shoot me with something else? I must get out as soon as possible. So it was like disarm, go, 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 go. And I'll show you the video because guess who made it through? All 14 officers.
Right. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
So when I call myself a ninja, this is I feel the only word to describe. And then unfortunately, I feel that everyone is out to get me because I'm coming after the Miami court system. I'm coming after the corrupt lawyers that I had to cuss out on the phone earlier today that like I've paid thousands of dollars and now I'm recognizing are totally just in bed with the police trying to actually save their asses. I'm coming for the Zouk scene that's being hypocritical. I'm coming for the 12 men that made a circle around me. Not physically, like they didn't, but like mentally in this way of stop encircling people for no reason. Stop. Police, because that's the thing. Police love to do it. But I'm just not the guy that you're going to be able to encircle with police and then be able to, and it's ridiculous right now. I don't know if you've heard like Andrew Tate got snatched. And it's like, no. This is not good. You're putting the superheroes in jail. And that means that the supervillains are in charge. So here's something I want to say too is it's time for respect. It's time for just respect. Like, leave people alone if they're not doing anything wrong. Do not circle them. Do not try to tackle them. Do not try to get people. Do you know how much getting someone arrested ruins lives? Stop calling the police on people for no reason. Stop arresting people for no reason. If I were to show up at Interfusion, how about just leave me alone? How about just allow whoever wants to dance with me to dance with me, whoever doesn't want to dance with me not to dance with me, and let me be. And right now I'm passionate. We're in the car. I'm explaining a story. Yeah. It's time for betterment, and it's time for that now, and I'm excited for that.
Okay. So sorry. I'm going through my list here, just make sure I covered all the things. So yeah, is all your court stuff done? I guess you state you have a pending case. You have at least one pending thing. Do you have three
Yeah,
pending?
all three, bro. All three are still pending, and it's like getting close to the because everything just keeps getting pushed out because the court system's just stupid.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm like trying to get court sooner, and
Yeah.
part of it is because I'm in Miami. I'm going to represent myself, the one that they're trying to put me away for 80 years. This is one of my goals is just to make sure that I like I don't just like winning. I like slam dunking. So when it comes to even court and walking in, I'm so excited to walk in and I'm going to represent myself at this point in my case because I'm so confident and it's going to be like a fun game for me because I think I only live this life once. Isn't that a beautiful result? So why not have the most amazing stories like representing yourself in court and going against corruption. And for me, this all ties in. Today, this has been a conversation about corruption within the Zouk scene. And of course, we know within the government and police and court. But still, why is no one doing anything about it? Stop rolling over and just being complacent. Email Christian to be like, that's not cool what you did to Timothy. Still go, have fun. I don't want you to I'm not trying to make everyone's day miserable. Right. I just want the other side of the conversation. Straight still right now. Nice smile. I want to be able to say my side of the story, and I don't feel that anyone has really cared, so to speak. So I appreciate you even allowing me just to share, and I'll definitely please send me this recording because I think it's something that I might even use, let's say, to prove my innocence, which is just part of it. It's if I sent you the videos and let's say the incident at church, and I'm just delusional, and you just see me whop this woman in the face, and you're like, Tim, you're crazy. Like you just punched her.
Yeah.
Let me send you the videos. Don't take my word for it. Take the pixels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if there's any physical harm of someone else, it's hard for me to find a way to justify that, you know. But I'm curious to see what you send me. I am very curious. I'm very curious.
Yes.
So yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
And then so I'm just want to go through my list, make sure I have any because we're almost done as far as the stuff I have questions for.
Yeah. It's been a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then
what's one of your Zouk goals? What would elevate your dance to the next level?
For me, it's more about community than the actual structure and form of the dance, because I think that dance saves a lot of like lives really, and I think it revitalizes a lot of people.
Amen.
In a broader way.
I gotta say that I want to support it. I don't want to just tear it down. I want to tear it down so we can rebuild it better, because dance is amazing and it can heal and it can bring people together. And it can be this beautiful thing, but we know beautiful things turn ugly and then it becomes worse than just a beautiful thing. It becomes a reversal. So that's where it's so dangerous, and I'm so passionate about speaking out. It's like, don't ruin the best things. Let's make it better so we can get more of exactly what you just said.
So yeah, and then just want to see here. So we talked about the legal stuff. We talked about that. We talked about and as far as your own, because you're going through a lot. These past three, you said the past 3 months you've been through.
Hey, we're literally getting pulled over by the cops.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just take this exit. You should stay on. This will be hilarious.
I'll stay on.
Please. No, it's okay. Keep going straight. It's okay. Keep going straight. Stay on the road. Yep. And then just take this exit. You'll come with us.
I was just going to ask you while you're pulling over, like,
Yeah. You're good, baby. You're good.
There you go. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just gonna give him a little thumbs up. We're just finding a place. Let's go. Straight, actually. Yeah, and then just pull off in the grass right here. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Pull off in the grass. You're good. Hey, by the way, this will be fun. Ready? We'll it's gonna be totally fine, but feel free to be as nice to him as you want and as cute as you want, because that will help. You can roll down the window. And you can say you're sorry too. You could. Well, actually, no. Don't say anything yet. Don't admit anything. Hello, officer.
While it stops, he's free speed. Is everything okay?
Yes.
It's her first.
I didn't
She's
know.
from Argentina. She's never driven here. I'm trying to
For me, it's normal, you know. But I understand that here it's not.
Do you have a driver's license?
Yes. Mm.
And officer, I do want to let you know I'm actually she's driving. I'm on a little video call, so it is a video call, but we're just like chilling.
You're good.
How's your day been?
It's not too bad.
Good.
Man.
What's the speed limit? What did you clock us at? I'm curious.
I got her going 98.
No.
98 and it's a 60 zone.
No.
Well,
No.
We go in like 120.
Oh baby, you know these are miles an hour, not kilometers, right?
Oh no.
Oh. Oh, officer, she
sorry.
thought it was kilometers an hour. We're so sorry. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because 100 kilometers is like 60 miles an hour. So you would be going like the speed limit. That was, baby, that was good math. Unfortunately, just wrong calculations.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You don't have an American driver's license in any state here, no?
No, I just get here.
She literally arrived like 2 days ago, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have where are you living at right now here in the States? Where's
Well,
like
she's
temporary?
visiting.
She lives with
I
you?
am on vacation.
She's visiting.
Oh, she's visiting you? Okay.
We're from Charlotte.
Who's this car belong to?
It's mine.
It's yours? Okay. All right. Just stay in the car.
Yeah,
We'll be right back.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. What can you give me the? Can you give me my?
I need this.
Oh,
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
okay.
Do you have anything with your birthday on it? Or
Yes.
no, you born on February 6th, 1995? Okay.
It's good. It's fine. Dang, I didn't even think to tell you about that. Yeah, so these are miles an hour. So like if you're
Oh.
going 100 miles an hour, that's 160 kilometers an hour.
I do nothing, baby.
I'm sorry, baby. Well, the one time I did say, I was like, oh, baby, you're going really fast. You were going like 100, but it was 100 miles an hour, not kilometers. But the good news is we're making good time. This is so perfect for the video, though.
It really is. It really is.
And because,
The light.
oh yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's all good. And then because he didn't even because you don't live here, I don't think he's gonna give you a ticket.
Maybe,
What do you think, Adam?
maybe to you.
What do you? Oh, why is
I
your face not different? What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, 50-50. I give it a coin
50-50.
toss.
He's
Yeah.
gonna fit it. I think 70-30. I don't think he's gonna give you a ticket because it's complicated. Like if you're visiting,
But
then you
maybe
can't
to
even.
you.
No. He can't give me a ticket because I wasn't
really?
driving. No, I wasn't doing anything. I was just
Wow.
sitting on the podcast. This is definitely part of my strategy. You got to just hang out with beautiful women because they definitely get in trouble less than beautiful men. For
That's
sure.
true. That is true.
Right. We cannot talk about the disparity without talking about this. So as soon
I
as
can give
oh, I don't know if they'll take it as a bribe. You could just be like, oh, have you ever tried? They'll say,
No,
"Don't
but
mention."
I want to.
Of course. We don't want to give it to the cops. So I don't think he will. He'll probably run my plates and everything's fine on the car. No, it's fine. As soon as I saw him under the bridge, baby, and as soon as I saw him, I saw him start moving, and I was like, we're done. Because I kind of like, how fast are we going? I was like, we're moving fast.
Wow, but really, I didn't notice that it was like too fast.
Yes, it was, but yeah, it's also tricky because the highways, a lot of times people will go fast, but not normally that fast. If the speed limit says 60, then you can go like 67, but if you start going like, if you go 10 over, they'll give you a ticket at 10. And that's in miles an hour. So, anyways, what else are your Zouk goals?
Oh, how my Zouk goals. I do compete in Jack and Jill's.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
Keep
and
going. I want you to win them all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I think. Oh, good. You back? Oh, okay. I competed against you actually.
Oh hell yeah!
At Zouk Heat.
Nice.
I want to say,
nice.
and I think I got like I don't remember what I got, maybe 4th or 5th or something like that.
Good for you. Good for
And
you.
that was when you
Nice.
got 2nd or 1st, or was that I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're like Who knows? But yeah.
Good for you though. Jack and Jills are cool, and that's part of why I want to have this. And I know, for me, calling out bad things like in a hard way is a faster way to make the change. So even the judging, like, we got to have a better system for judging Jack and Jills if it's not being scored, if it's not coming out correctly, because the crowd needs to like agree, like, yeah. If it gets too technical with the little points, then you start getting weird standings, and you're like, they got third, but on paper they're like, oh, wait, they got third. That's just kind of how it works when you get too detailed, you know. So it'd even be better to simplify some of those judging processes.
Yeah.
So what it does is it pushes a level of competition higher. Like even the Brazilian Jack and Jills, like they're gonna go harder than just trying to stay in the little choreography box. It's time to kind of go bigger in that way, you know.
Yeah. Well, and then I have here just like, it doesn't sound like you're like sort of regretting anything, but I just have, it's one of my questions. It's like, do you have any like people that you like want to apologize to or say sorry to, or is like anyone that you want to, you know?
I like this question because I definitely want to always have a growth mindset. I want to continue getting better and learning and recognizing how things in the past, while maybe helpful, could have been handled a little differently to have a smoother outcome. Is there anyone I want to apologize to? Well, if there's, you know, because dance is a sport and it's a physical thing, if there's anyone that has like felt, I don't know, like pain at all, I don't think I've had any follows tell me this, but maybe if there was someone that was like, I remember feeling pain, tell me, because I want to adjust. So that's like maybe a generic. In general, I feel that my level of comfort is one of my specialties. And the other thing I would say, is there anyone I want to apologize to? I'll just say that I feel one of my goals is to continue to become a smoother operator. Like if I'm at an event or if I'm somewhere, I don't know why it's taking so long. I want to become polished in all ways. And I recognize that some of my behavior in the past was rough around the edges. Maybe if I am, it's interesting. Part of me feels like I'm also saying this out of conditioning of what people want to hear.
Yeah,
like I'm
you don't have
about
to, whatever you want to say.
The times where I was maybe over in the corner by myself by the speakers, like doing backflips and this kind of stuff. And people were like, hey, that's too much. And so part of me is like, okay, sorry for being too much. And then part of me is like, no, that's not too much. Why is that too much? So it's a tough question. But I'll say that I want to continue improving. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. You know, that whole song.
He is coming. Hold on 1 second, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So like I said, I did clock her speed at 98.
Yeah.
It is a 60 zone. That's fast.
Yes, I'm.
Right. Technically, she could go to jail for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
damn,
considered
bro.
reckless. Right.
We're so sorry.
I'm
It
not
really
taking
was an
jail
honest
for that.
mistake.
But she is getting a speeding ticket.
She's getting a speeding ticket? What do we do with that? She's not even from here.
What's that?
What do we do with a speeding ticket?
However she does that's on her. I'm pretty sure she probably won't come back.
Yeah.
States.
So we just pay it.
She could either just do that or just hire an attorney, see if they could go.
But we can also just like pay it and be done. Yeah.
Right.
It's not gonna.
Just make sure that it gets taken care of by March the 27th.
Okay.
So she has time.
And then there's nothing, because her license, she's Argentinian, it doesn't affect her license at all. It's just like a U.S. fee.
Because technically she's not considered to be licensed in the States anyway, so there's really nothing to go on.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. So like, is this just more for the money then?
Well, we don't get no money out of it.
You don't get any kind of like bonus or anything?
No, man.
No?
No.
So what's the incentive for you to like, let's say, give us a ticket versus letting us off? Because, you know, obviously some officers are just like cool and like, you can just go.
Well, because that's what the state pays us to do. And then I'm not out here trying to give warnings on their 98, man.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm on the show. Like, this is the thing, man. If I'm going to get out, stop a car, and then I have the risk of getting shot at every time I stop a car, I'm not going to stop it for going 5, 10 over.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your line? I'm curious.
Man, I'm a state trooper.
Well, I know, but like, what's your line when it comes to speed?
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah,
so
that's
in
the
North
thing.
Carolina, it's an absolute state. It's an absolute speed law.
Okay.
Technically, that means that even 1 mile an hour over means you get written a ticket.
Right, but what do you normally do? Of course.
1 mile an hour over. My limit is 25. that's when I start stopping
Oh,
cars.
really?
Yeah. So I got a lot of leniency. Like I said, man.
That's really lenient. Yeah. We're sorry. It really was an honest mistake. She thought it was kilometers an hour. Like, okay. And because I was focused on this, I wasn't paying attention as much as I could, and I will more now because. So thanks for doing what you do, and we're sorry. And yeah. Okay. So I just need to make sure this gets paid by the time, because I mean.
27th of March.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
Y'all take care.
It's okay. No, it doesn't matter at all. It'll be like $150, no problem. Like, it's just part of the learning. And as long as it doesn't affect your license at all. So when we leave, though, let's just be very careful and make sure everything is perfect.
I can.
Yeah. So you're gonna go this way and put your blinker on first, and I would.
This way.
Looks like it. Put your blinker on. Yeah.
My what?
Blinker. Yeah. And then, yeah. No, it's okay, baby. And then follow that, and then just
So how much?
The numbers that you see on the side, it'll be like 60, 70. That's the white numbers.
So
It says left. And just careful, like here, you have to come all the way to a stop. Stop. We'll let this person go, because if he's behind us, if you don't stop all the way, you could get a ticket for that.
Oh.
Let's wait for it. Adam, back to you, sir.
50-50, but yeah, you almost didn't get a ticket. That's kind of amazing that you almost didn't get a ticket. That's amazing.
I know. I thought. Go. You're good. Take a left. I thought he was gonna, especially with her being so cute. But it is. I can't believe that. Can you believe that? You could technically go to jail for that. Welcome to the U.S. of A. We'll put you in bars for anything. Yeah. He gives a ticket at 25 over, but 30 over, you're behind bars.
Wow. Okay, so two last questions. We're in the home stretch.
Perfect.
The second to last is, do you feel like you have all the the support you need from a mental health standpoint, and just from a mental health standpoint? That's a big thing with Interfusion, big thing in general. What do you think?
Would you like to answer that? Do you understand the question?
No.
He's asking about how, not quite yet. Well, I'll ask you, because Carla's a life coach. How do you think my mental state is? How is my mind? You can turn left.
I think that is amazing that you always are trying to get better and to help people and trying to encourage people to have the best life, a better life in all the aspects. Sorry. And also, you are amazing with kids, trying to give them some advice. And yes, and all the people that I have known that knows you, all admires you. Yes, like me.
Thank you. Here's the speech on the
Okay.
So 65.
65?
65 something.
Okay.
They're gonna go faster, but let's be safe.
Well, that's a really nice answer. Thank you for that. So, getting help, and then the last thing, and then this is just to reassure anyone that might see this. If somehow people can see this before Interfusion, I'm gonna try to get this up pretty quickly. Do like regular average attendees of Interfusion have any reason to be concerned for their own personal safety?
It's a really, really good question. Not at all.
Okay.
the last thing that I would want is, especially any sort of like physical violence. And I would just ask the same on my end, like, no one touch me, like, unless we're dancing and we've consented to this. And truthfully, let's just say I were to go to Interfusion, I'm excited to, let's say, hang out in the lobby, which is public area, not Interfusion area, and maybe teach privates or chat with people or dance and this kind of stuff. So yeah, for me, there's also, yeah.
Feel great. Well, thank you. I mean, is there anything that you want to say? Just because that's into my questions. Do you have anything else you want to?
I would say thank you to anyone who spent the time to listen, to care. Thank you to those that have invested a lot into Zouk, even the people that I've mentioned, maybe in a negative way. The reason they'd be mentioned in a negative way is because they've done a lot of good in a lot of ways, and therefore in a place of leadership. And I think leadership deserves critique. That is part of being a leader. I would say, I want to give people hugs. I want to shake hands, smile. I want to dance. I want to get back to a better place. And I think all of this is actually extremely positive when we look at it from a place of betterment and improvement and improving our perspective, improving our knowledge. And the internet and video is such an amazing way to quickly understand so much that's gone on. And I've received several messages about like, hey, what's going on? And I haven't had time to explain yet, but I feel like this is an explanation that will give people understanding. An explanation that will give understanding. And for me, that's really the goal. And I want to move on in a beautiful way that makes it better for everyone. May the gods bless you.
Oh, well, thank you, and I appreciate it, and thank you both for your time. And you have a good weekend, a good week and good weekend.
Sounds good. See you soon.
All right, you got it. Thanks. Bye. That's the interview. My camera died, or the hard drive filled up, so I just switched to my phone. Lot in that interview. I'm gonna try to post this as is. If he sends me more stuff, I'll post it. No idea what that's gonna do for his legal defense. It's not my. That's, if he sends it, I'll post it. Very interesting interview. I won't summarize anything. I'll just let him speak for himself. All right, thank you for tuning in. But still, Adam C. Come check out the Zoukanon on Facebook. I would love to hear your thoughts and see your thoughts on this interview. Thank you.